And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, helping you win in any marketplace. That is the goal of our show. We want to help you win when it comes to your buying decisions, business, finance, estate, and tax planning, health and nutrition on the Consumer Quarterback Show today. And we want to help you win. That is our goal. Check out our website, consumerqb.com, a plethora of info at consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors. Also, save our hotline number in your phone at some point. You may need it. 813-670-7372.
Used to call me on my cell phone.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number. And we would love to work with you. And we've had an uptick in calls lately, people reaching out for all types of advice here on the show. So we appreciate all of our listeners out there. 4 o'clock drive time, AM 860, The Answer. Also 93.7 on the FM dial. And we got a weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone, syndicating all of our show content now as well on Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Sony TV, 85 other outlets. And on the real estate side, we give you an opportunity to have your property featured right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. This segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot. Golf Cart Depot, friend of the program. Say hello to Marty and his team. If you are thinking about a golf cart, I would highly recommend you talk to Golf Cart Depot and take them up on their offers for a test drive. They've got 2 locations right here in Tampa Bay, Land O'Lakes, right off of US 41 North there, and then also off of 19 in Clearwater on the east side of 19. Golf Cart Depot right here in Tampa Bay. They hooked us up. We got a great looking golf cart here that we use for door knocking. We're getting the Keller Williams Realty wraps put on it as well. We're going out and meeting a lot of our neighbors, driving in the canals over there by our home. So real excited about that. Big shout out to Golf Cart Depot. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you and take them up on those special offers and incentives. All right, let's introduce our expert contributors here in studio. Heather Lalk, fit to a T. Welcome back in.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here today.
Awesome. Yeah, and you've got some recipes today.
Yeah, I actually am getting over a little cold, so disclaimer everybody in the studio. I'm at the tail end, so I wouldn't have come in to spread those germs.
Yeah, thank you.
Big advocate about that. But just some simple homeopathic things that you can do so your body can heal itself.
Nice.
And then talk about some things with autoimmunity, because so many Americans have it. So
yeah, absolutely. I love that. So some of the best herbs and vitamins to take when it comes to fighting these colds that sometimes we have. You got the apple cider vinegar, garlic, ginger, turmeric, horseradish, cayenne, adaptogens, and echinacea. A lot of good stuff. So we're going to dive deeper into that. Also, Rachel Wright in studio, Gulfside Healthcare. Welcome in.
Welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. And you are Director of Staff Education and Patient Care Volunteers.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. What are we going to talk about today?
Today, we're going to talk about some of our supportive programming that we have that goes above and beyond traditional hospice care, some of the alternative methods we can support our patients and caregivers.
I like it. I like it. All right. Kirsty Churchill as well from Gulfside Healthcare Services. Welcome back in.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. And you are the Director of Community Relations.
Yes. So I'm going to kind of tag on to what Rachel's talking about a little bit with some of our supportive patient care programs and just how to find more information about us.
Awesome. I like that. And you manage the social media. So that's such a big part of business today. It's like I've heard some business owners joke about it. It's like, my third job, my second job, right? Doing the social media. But it can really help you, if you're doing it properly out there as well. And utilizing the show content is one thing we talk a lot about here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got a great lineup for you today in studio as well. And I want to let you know about a couple of hot listings that we've got here in Tampa Bay. 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue. This is a great opportunity. If you're a business owner in Tampa, this is in the town and country area. And if you're leasing space, this is an opportunity to own rather than paying your landlord's mortgage. What you want to do is purchase 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa and check out that beautiful conference room. If you're watching our TV show version, maybe even on YouTube, you can find it. 8325 625 West Hillsborough Avenue. This property is right around $455,000. Great location, right at that Tampa, St. Pete, the Town and Country area, Sheldon, Memorial, Hillsborough area, right there. Great opportunities to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. That we've also got some vacant land available as well. Check out Cox Drive in Land O'Lakes. This is in Cox Drive. It's a half an acre lot right on the waterfront. You've got a beautiful opportunity. We got drone photography for that one, so we're going to update that one next time. But attention, builders and developers, this is on a 90-acre ski lake right in Bell Lake in Land O'Lakes. Great opportunities. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. So back here in studio, let's jump to Heather Lalk here, fit to a T, personal training expert, nutritionist, certified nutritionist. And today we're going to talk about some of these different herbs and vitamins that can help you when you're fighting a cold.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to bring that up just because, like I said before, I'm getting over a cold, and apparently everybody else is too that I've talked to. So I always give my clients the heads up. They have a choice. If I don't feel like I'm really contagious, that they can or do not have to come and see me, because
Sure.
It's up to them. Some people get sick quicker. But we can use a lot of homeopathic things. I mean, there is a place for drugs and pharmaceutical stuff when you really need it. Sometimes you got to break down. But then sometimes you can notice, I do, when I take things, it stops me up more. It makes it harder that my body can't really fight off whatever's going on. So there are some things, garlic, like I said, with that recipe, apple cider vinegar is amazing to use daily, but also in this tonic with turmeric, horseradish, cayenne, and then adaptogens are wonderful. Adaptogens come in and adapt to your environment and your cellular level, and they go where it's needed to help you in all different ways.
Is that kind of like the colloidal silver, that silver that you spray? Is that what? Are you familiar with that one? That one helped me out a lot last time I was sick.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a nasal spray, and it was like micro particles of silver. It was really, I couldn't believe how fast it knocked out the cold I had.
Oh, yeah. And then they have other things for over the counter like Zicam and things, but those are swabs. But those are based upon homeopathic herbs and things like that.
Right.
For cold. So I will post that recipe, which is awesome. It's one of the world-renowned herbalists came up with it, and she shared it with her friends and family, and now they use it in that community. So I'll put that on fittoat.net. On there. I also have a newsletter and blog that I have and upcoming events.
Nice. That's Rosemary Gladster.
Yes,
that's
exactly. Yeah. And then I just wanted to touch a little bit too on autoimmunity, because so many people are suffering from it. It's about 23 million Americans suffer from it.
Wow.
About 20 years ago, that word wasn't being uttered at all. It was about AIDS, it was about cancer, heart disease, which we still have those other three, but now we have in the mixture the autoimmune diseases. So what happens is your own cells can't see the difference between it actual has the cells or if it's a foreign cell. So it starts attacking itself.
Wow.
So you get rheumatoid arthritis. Sometimes it's on a skin level. So your skin, like psoriasis is one. And then thyroid diseases like Hashimoto's is an example.
Wow.
So it can you're overproducing hormones or underproducing hormones with those thyroid conditions.
Wow.
So, but a lot of times you know your body the most. Knowledge is power, so you really have to educate yourself through other professionals, or if you feel off a little bit, you feel achy all the time, you feel tired all the time, you get sick more often than normal, then go see a physician or another trusted healthcare provider that you like and trust, and get yourself checked out, because it is not normal to feel like crud all the time. And unfortunately, these days, everybody says, oh, it's normal to feel crappy. Oh, it's normal to be aging, so I don't feel good and I'm never going to be the same, which should not be the case.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to live life to the fullest and have the energy and the abundance that you should have. Heather Lalk here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, fit to a T. And local, you have a personal training facility right there in Dunedin, and doing a lot of work a lot of good things over there in Dunedin as well. I
did a lot of functional training, so it helps with everyday life. I also utilize a lot of stability balls, free weights. I do, kind of bodybuilding type stuff, as well as building and developing that core, which is super uber important, movement coordination, because we lose that as we age and we don't do it as much. I integrate therapeutic stretching because I have a massage therapy background as well.
Nice.
And I can also work collaboratively with other healthcare professionals. Example, chiropractors. Sometimes people have injuries or past injuries, and when they're done with treatment with those types of practitioners, they still need some more rehab, so they can send them to me to do other stretches to make sure that they're doing those, and we can work together on bettering that client.
Yeah, I used to love, as an athlete, I played football at the University of South Florida, so hence the real estate quarterback now. Yeah. The 20 plus years later, the assisted stretch, that's one of my favorite things is having someone help me stretch and get my body into those positions, and your body, your muscles just feel that much better. When you get that assisted stretch.
Oh, exactly. And the soft tissue stretching. That's why athletes, the football teams, all the national sports teams, college, they all have people in there. They have massage therapists that they have on staff. Yep. They have people that stretch them. They do cryotherapy. So they know the benefits of that to help your body, regenerate.
Now, do you do any kind of mobile, like if somebody wanted you to work out in their facility or, those types of things, or is it mostly in your Dunedin location?
Most of it's done in the Dunedin location. We're really close to the trail, and there's a park down the road, which is awesome. So we can get outside to do a little warm up. We actually are going to start a mini boot camp. It's a body blaster boot camp, we're going to call it.
Nice.
This Saturday at 10:30 in the morning. We're just going to kind of do that as a free class. Bring your friends to 1059 Broadway, Dunedin, Florida. And we're just going to do coordination. We're going to do a little bit of footwork. Maybe I'm going to have a friend of mine that's certified in kickboxing come in, so that'll make it a little bit fun. And we're going to also use barbells, so it teaches people correct form so they don't get hurt. And it's kind of an introduction to that, as well as the folks that are already well versed in it.
Yeah, I like that. So this Saturday, 10:30 a.m., 1059 Broadway, right there in Dunedin, got a free mini boot camp. Is that right?
This Saturday. Yep. And then I'm also going to start doing some free to the community workshops. But I also am able to do a lot of consultations and a lot of coaching via Skype, via Zoom. So you don't necessarily have to be in my little town. I can help you where you're far reaching.
I like
thanks
that.
to technology these days.
Kind of like telemedicine, teletraining.
Yeah, teledoc. Yeah.
There you go, teledoc.
Yeah.
Awesome, good stuff. All right, more from Heather Lalk coming up. Fit to a T, local personal training expert and a nutritionist right here in Tampa Bay. We got Rachel Wright coming up, as well as Kirsty Churchill, both representing Gulfside Healthcare Services here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got a funny feel-good story of the day. It's an interesting one. It's a 42-year-old Zamboni driver that gets called in as an emergency goaltender, wins his first NHL game. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with games we were starting.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore. Ask Anthony about Florida law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Everybody. Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of
your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We want to help you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We would love to talk to you. Number one in our office last month as well. We're going to put the graphic up if you're watching our TV show. Top left, number one, Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, top agents out of our Keller Williams office, 489 agents at that office, which is a top 10 office in the entire Mid-Florida Regional Gulf Coast of Tampa Bay here as well. So we'd love to help you with your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, so a couple of hot listings here. 0 Alternate 19, also known as 516 Alt 19 in Palm Harbor. This is a great opportunity. Again, if you're a business owner and you're paying rent, why not build your own dream business? A lot of people are buying their, building their dream homes, but build your dream business or office location here in the heart of Palm Harbor. You get the walkability right there to all the awesome restaurants. This property is priced under $200,000 for this vacant lot, and the owner also has $40,000 worth of architectural plans that they will include as well. Water and sewer are connected. Impact fees have been paid. So that's a big deal when it comes to developing real estate properties. 0 Alternate 19 in Palm Harbor. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. That's PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, so we got Rachel right here in studio. She is the Director of Staff Education and also Patient Care Volunteers here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So tell us about some of the supported programming that you guys have at Gulfside.
So under our Comfort Connections programming, we have several different programs, including the We Honor Veterans program. We have Seeds of Solace, which is a program that provides additional support to patients living with dementia or related disorders and their caregivers. We have a Heartstrings program, which includes musical instruments, particularly Reverie harp, which is a very soothing harp that can be played in the patient's home. It's portable, or in nursing homes, in any kind of care setting, and it's known to reduce anxiety of the patients. But there's other instruments as well. We have a Pet Peace of Mind program, which really the main goal of that is to keep patients and their pets together as long as possible. So even if they can't drive them to the vet any longer, maybe they can't get out to get the food, the litter could be very heavy for them to go shopping for. We'll help assist them with those so they can remain and keep that relationship with their pets. Yes.
I love that. So the heartstrings, I love that idea of having the soothing sounds, right? I mean, just of those instruments. Wow, that's an awesome program. And so you got multiple programs there. You got the Pet Peace of Mind. So it seems like many people are dealing with dementia. Some of those those aging, Alzheimer's, those types of things, whether themselves or a loved one. So what is Seeds of Solace program?
So that's a program that is designed to meet the individualized needs of what the patient and maybe their caregiver is going through, whether that be specific education, interventions that could be to address safety needs, comfort, communication is something that can be a challenge for those suffering from those diseases. So maybe non-traditional methods of communication. It could be through the use of memory boards. It could be again through music. We also have a mini pony who comes out and visits the patients so they can get some comfort from the animals visiting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And just take a step back to Gulfside Healthcare. If you've heard the show before, we've had a lot of different experts, contributors from Gulfside, but they have three main business lines, right? So palliative care, home health care, and hospice.
Yes.
You want to briefly describe the difference?
So hospice care is care for those suffering from an end-of-life disease, a terminal illness. So they're in the very end stage. We're providing comfort and care for them. Palliative care is providing symptom management for something. It's not treatment. It's helping them live with a life-limiting illness, but maybe not yet at the end of life stage. And then home health care is care that comes in the home to help them manage their needs in the home and provide that medical care.
Kind of like an auto accident.
It could be diabetes, heart disease, things like that.
Right. Awesome. So you're doing a lot of good work in the community. You are a nonprofit organization, is Gulfside Healthcare Services. So one of the things you wanted to talk to the listeners or viewers of our show about was having volunteers, need for volunteers.
We have a growing need for volunteers, especially within these caring programs, supportive programming. So whether that be if anyone wants to learn to play some of those instruments or has instruments of their own, sharing those, whether it be in nursing homes, in any kind of care setting. Also respite volunteers who can provide relief to the caregiver. So the caregiver can go grocery shopping or get outside of the house for a period of time, someone to sit with the patient while they're gone.
Yeah, because that's one of the toughest things, I think, if you look at it from, and you've probably seen it in your family, hypothetically speaking here, is you have, the one aunt or the one person that's always, kind of stepping up to the plate when mama gets sick or, the different granny's sick, who's going to help. You have that one family member that seems to be put in that position of, selflessly volunteering their time whenever they have other things that of course they would like to do, and then they end up getting sick or being kind of falling to cold illness and losing part of their day, of course, every day.
And our caregivers are very dedicated, so a lot of times they don't want to leave the patient alone. They want someone there with the patient. So anytime we can help them, to provide them with good self-care while they're caring for their loved one, we aim to do that. So those are the respite services are very important.
And the respite, is that like an acronym, or is there
no, it's just respite. It's providing respite or relief to that caregiver so that they can leave.
Okay. Yeah, and we've had the chaplain on the show in the past, and we've had, of course, Linda Ward on the show. We're going to hear from Kirsty in a moment as well. What's your favorite thing about Gulfside?
Seeing the difference that we make in the lives of the patients, talking to the caregivers when we can help them, if they're in a crisis and they think, gosh, how am I going to take care of my dog? He means so much to me, but now I'm already suffering emotionally from my illness. And being able to support them and say, you're going to get to stay with your animal. We're going to help support you through that. Or a caregiver who doesn't know where to turn and is trying to understand what's happening, to their spouse or to their parent. Right. Being able to provide them some reassurance that, we're going to get them the education and the support that they need. That's very meaningful.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're talking with Rachel Wright here. She's Director of Staff Education and Patient Care Volunteers, Gulfside Healthcare Services, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And it's a scenario where we have an aging demographic already. We know that. We see that. You see it happening in real estate with assisted living facilities and those types of scenarios playing out. But the more that we can help the greatest generation in a lot of ways, help them age in place, if it's home health care, the palliative care, and the different types of services you offer. I love it that you've got the different types of lines as well. So looking for volunteers. So what would a volunteer do? Let's say I'm on the fence. I'm thinking, hey, I might want to volunteer. What are you going to make me do?
Well, it's really up to you and your unique talents. So if you're really good at, computer, you could come in and say, can I help in the office, scanning documents? We have packets of information that you could put together. Or your talent, you really want to go out and interact with people and provide socialization.
Right.
You might go play cards with a patient who lives alone and doesn't have a lot of visitors who could benefit from that during the last stage of their life. If you play an instrument, if you have a supportive pet, an emotional support animal who maybe wants to come visit some of our patients. Kirsty's going to talk about the veterans, but if you're a veteran who wants to support another veteran, provide some support in that way. So really it speaks to what you want to give back in your unique talents.
I like that. Yeah, that's great, because everybody has their own skill set, and they're going to enjoy it more if it's something that they have a choice to do.
Absolutely.
So they're going to enjoy
you to be
that.
Comfortable and feel, comfortable and confident in what you're doing. So you kind of tell us what you bring to the table, and we'll find a match for you.
That's right. And you also have donation opportunities in Pasco County with the stores as well.
We have 5 thrift store locations, 5 thrift store locations in Pasco County, both in the west and east side of the county and in Land O'Lakes right off 41.
Perfect. So you got tax deductions available for donated items. All right, stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. More from our expert contributors. Heather Lalk's in the house, fit to a T. Rachel Wright, as well as Kirsty Churchill here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And our feel-good story of the day is coming up. We got a 42-year-old Zamboni driver that gets called as an emergency goaltender. He wins his first NHL game. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
7372.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore. Ask him to me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that movie because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, giving a shout out to Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Big shout out to Steve and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions right here in Tampa on Gandy Boulevard. Vitamins, minerals, electrolytes directly injected right into your bloodstream, and it's vitamin infusion drip. So they've got many different formulations. The most popular is the Myers cocktail, you may have heard, but they've got anti-aging, health and wellness, performance, amino acids, and extras that they can drop in there for you as well. I love getting my proverbial oil change there when I go and visit Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. And they have a Carrollwood location as well, right off of Barrisondale Mabry, South Tampa, right on Gandy Boulevard, right there in South Tampa. Say hello. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we've got a hot property listing here, vacant land available, commercial opportunity at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. The owner's motivated. We just did a price reduction on this property at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. Corner lot, and it's 0.82 acres, so just under an acre, and you have a great opportunity here in Tampa. 200 feet of frontage right on a major road here in Tampa Bay. 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo, and also 4207 South Del Mabry Highway. This is unit number 1203. It's a 3-bedroom 2-bath property in Tampa at 4207 South Del Mabry Highway, and it is in the Grand Key condominium community. You got a pool on site. Excellent location, your close proximity to everything that South Tampa has to offer. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, so we got a great lineup for you today in studio. We got more from Heather Lalk coming up, fit to a T. We got Rachel Wright in the house as well with Gulfside Healthcare Services. And now we're going to talk with Kirsty Churchill, Director of Community Relations, and a lot about helping our veterans here. So one of the things we do with our company is we have extra incentives with any veterans that are buying, selling, or investing. We do a quarter to a half a point discount. And I know you guys have some special programs for veterans as well, Kirsty.
Yeah, we do. So Gulfside is a member of the We Honor Veterans Program, which is actually a national program that partners with the National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization and then the VA as well. So we're a level 4 partner of that program. And really the focus is making sure that we are pairing veteran volunteers, like Rachel talked about volunteers before, with our patients who are veterans. So 1 out of 4 hospice patients is a veteran, which is a huge percentage. So we really, and a lot of our staff are veterans as well. So it's just a really important topic for us. And we try to make sure that they get the best care possible.
Yeah, they really do. They need the best care. They deserve the best care. They defended this country. A lot of times they came home with, injuries, both, physically and mentally when it comes to the veterans. So taking care of the veterans is something that's near and dear to my heart. My dad was an MP in the military. Tell us about, how that program works. So you've got military veterans that will actually, be paired up with the patients. Mm-hmm. And what are they doing in that capacity?
We do. So for it's our goal to make sure that we thank every veteran patient for their service. We offer pinning ceremonies, which are really, really special. The family can come in, and we have a lot of times often staff that come in and just to watch the pinning ceremonies. So we'll have a staff or volunteer who is a veteran. They'll come in and they'll present them with a pin, like a little flag pin that's really nice, and then a certificate. And oftentimes we have volunteers who will make special lap blankets or bears or something to give to them just as an extra special gift. And, we give that to them and just as just a way to say thank you, because a lot of times, they come home and they have not been told thank you for their service. Right. So it's just a little special thank you that we like to give them. And, pairing a veteran volunteer with the veteran patient or even veteran staff member, it just allows them to be able to open up to somebody and talk to somebody who can relate to experiences that they've had, and just gives them an extra level of comfort.
Yeah, it makes sense. They have this similar background, so they both served, so that they're going to have that camaraderie there. And I just wonder, just kind of an off-topic question, how has the VA improved? Because I remember, years ago, you heard the Veterans Administration people going in and getting, you hear some of the stories how the veterans aren't getting quite what they deserve in terms of service. And have you guys had any hands-on with that, or is that
I believe that's something that our social workers help with as well for our patients who are veterans. They are able to help connect the families with resources that they need through the VA, and really just be kind of a second hand to help with getting those resources.
Yeah, because I imagine there's some confusion when it comes to, where do we go for this? How do we, do we wait in this long line? Hopefully the veterans are being taken better care of. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Kirsty Churchill here. She's the Director of Community Relations with Gulfside Healthcare Services, a longtime friend of the program here, looking for volunteers as well. So if people want to support the programs, what can they do, Kirsty? How can they be involved?
So there's really three main ways that we say people can help. It's one by volunteering, which Rachel touched on a little bit earlier. Just, finding if you have a special talent, like you are a veteran or you play an instrument or something, you're finding that niche program that you can get attached to and really support the program. Also donations, maybe you don't have time to come and volunteer, but you could maybe give a little bit. So you can always donate online at gulfside.org, and you can donate specifically to one of those programs. So if veterans has a special place in your heart, you can donate specifically to those veterans programs to make sure that we're able to keep that going. And then let's see, because a lot of those, we get reimbursed for patient care, but those extra programs we don't get reimbursed for. So those rely strictly on donations. And then the third thing is really just helping us share information. That's kind of my job, is getting the information out there about what we're doing. So following us along on social media and sharing some of our posts and sharing links to our blog, and that really just helps let people know what resources and programs are available.
Yeah, it's such a great thing that we have now with Facebook and Instagram to be able to post a message out and almost have like a word of mouth response. Because if someone sees it and something as simple as, hey, sharing this or tagging a friend, hey, I remember you mentioned you might want to be involved with something like this. Here's a great opportunity to volunteer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they can volunteer online. Now, when they follow you on social, what's the best handle to look for?
So Facebook, we are facebook.com/Gulfside Healthcare Services. And then Instagram as well, we are at Gulfside Healthcare Services.
Perfect. Yeah. So connect on those two platforms, and that's going to help you, kind of tie into the community. And also, I love the idea of spring cleaning. This is that time of year where you want to spring clean, get rid of some of the old, if you've got children, you got toys all over the place, stuff that they've outgrown, clothing, lightly used type clothing. Furniture is a good one to donate for the different shops you have in Pasco County.
Yes, the Gulfside Hospice thrift shops, we have 5 of those, and all the items that are for sale in the thrift shops have been donated. So it's pure money that is just coming in to support patient programs.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Gulfside Healthcare doing a lot of good in the community, palliative care, home health care, and hospice. So hospice is traditionally, when I first heard about Gulfside, that's where my mind went. It was like, oh, I remember my grandma passing through hospice and how, hands-on they were, helping with that process. Because it's one of those things you don't really, you don't plan for it as much as we should. The hospice. So you got 3 lines there. I love the idea of, having musicians come in and playing music for the patients, because there's nothing worse than being sick or being in that position where you don't feel well. So that can make them feel a lot better with that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. So tell us about the chaplain. So that's a neat segment that stuck out of my mind when we had the chaplain in, and so he's there, he's hands-on with the patients as well, and some interesting conversations he's had, I'm sure.
Yes, he has. So that he's just part of our interdisciplinary team, which includes the chaplains, social workers, nurses, doctors, CNAs, I'm missing one.
Volunteers.
The volunteers. So, it's really, we make sure that it's not just about the medical care. It's really about the whole person, whether that's the spiritual care and, family relationships. And a lot of times that's a hard relationship to keep going when you're in a tough situation like that. So then the chaplains are there to really just come in, and they can talk with patients and just kind of be a listening ear, and let people get stuff off their chest that they need to talk about with maybe they haven't talked about with anybody else. So
right.
It's a really special position.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he did a great job. You can tell he does a great job with that. All right, so stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. When we come back, more from our expert contributors. We're gonna have our lightning round coming at you. We got Heather Lalk, fit to a T in the house, Rachel Wright and Kirsty Churchill, both representing Gulfside Healthcare Services. And we have our feel-good story of the day. Find out about this Zamboni driver that gets a call up to be an emergency goaltender, and he wins his first National Hockey League game. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com. Ian Beckles.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Dancing with the Stars.
62 who knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 who knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember now. Ask me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that movie because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Published author and professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon. Become the MVP in your industry by surfing the radio waves. Kind of an insights to our marketing side of our real estate business as well. And we'd love to get your feedback on it. Check out our book on Amazon.com. This segment is brought to you by the Bill Maher Beach Resort. The official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is the Bill Maher Beach Resort on beautiful Treasure Island, Florida. And I love going and visit down there. They've got 2 pools on site, of course, right beachfront there. 90% of the rooms have a beach view, as well as Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant right there on site. And they've got live music every night. Check out Bill Maher Beach Resort. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Book directly as well. Don't go through one of those search engines. Book directly with the Bill Maher Beach Resort. You get the best rates that way, according to Clyde Smith, who's the general manager. Give Clyde a call. Let him know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and check out the Bill Maher Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, a couple of hot listings from our Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We've got a property here in Wesley Chapel. This is 33308 Camerton Road in Wesley Chapel. So if you're looking for Pasco County, you're looking for some rural area, you want to have horses and cattle and poultry and livestock there, check out this property at 33308 Camerton Road in Wesley Chapel. 4-bedroom, 2-bath home on acreage available in that area. And we also have a property at 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. Now, this is a builder developer's dream. This is a great opportunity at Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. These are lakefront lots that are available. There's 5 lakefront lots, 8 total on a 90-acre ski lake, that is, and the owner is motivated. So great opportunity. Preliminary plats are available. The property has entitlements already from the county. So 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O'Lakes. Great opportunity to purchase real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Okay, so every day we're going to tell you something positive in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so David Aries, a 42-year-old Zamboni driver, and if you don't know what a Zamboni is, it's the hockey rinks where they kind of level out the ice. They come out and put the fresh layer of ice on. Was called in as an emergency goaltender Saturday night after the starting goalie and backup were both unable to play due to injuries. So Aries made 8 saves on 10 shots to help lift the Carolina Hurricanes over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And after Carolina goalies Jason Rimmer and Pete Marzek left because of injuries, the Hurricanes were forced to turn to Aries, who was watching the game at Scotia Arena with his wife. Aries entered the game in the middle of the second period. Even though he allowed 2 goals, the first 2 shots against Aries made 8 stops and preserved a win of 6-3 win. So that was a pretty cool day for that guy. But he didn't wake up that day thinking he's going to be in the game. He's normally riding the Zamboni. Now he's playing in the NHL. That's pretty cool. Imagine that for an NFL player. That'd be pretty far-fetched. All right, we got Heather Lalk in-house, fit to a T. Rachel Wright. She is the Director of Staff Education and Patient Care Volunteers, Gulfside Healthcare Services, as well as Kirsty Churchill, as well, Director of Community Relations at Gulfside. All right, we're jumping into our lightning round here.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning rounds.
All righty, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Heather Lalk, fit to a T.
Knowledge is power. So to prevent and cure illness, we need to try to understand it first. So when we give ourselves a base of knowledge and how the body works, we're more well equipped to discuss it and be proactive. So be proactive about your health. And then also when I go back to the autoimmune, some of the powerful herbs, ashwagandha is number 1 because it is an adaptogen in nature, meaning that it enhances your body's resilience to external and internal stressors and brings your system into a state of balance.
Nice.
And also it restores the immune system's homeostasis. So it's good too, even when you have colds and things. Echinacea, everyone knows echinacea.
Heard of that one?
Yep, that's great to take in cold and flu season. You can take it on and off is the best way to do that, and not long term, because your body gets adapted to it. And then the reishi mushrooms. All the mushroom family have many healing powers, but this one is really, it deals with the hypothalamic pituitary and adrenal axis.
Wow.
So the HPA axis. So that can majorly, it's a root cause of immune flare up sometimes, and it's also a main regulator of inflammation in the body. So look into those. I'll be putting that information on my website. Also, don't forget this Saturday I'm going to have a kickoff on a free Body Blaster Boot Camp. So it's all levels, so don't be frightened if you're not used to it. We're going to teach you really how to use your core and to make sure you don't get hurt when you work out. So the basics, and it's some fun cardiovascular stuff outside. And then also I'm still running my special for 3 sessions for $99. That's over a $200 value.
Nice.
I can also do a consult over the phone as well, or over Zoom. And then I'll also be starting some free to the public educational workshops.
Nice. I like that. So this Saturday, 10:30, 1059 Broadway, right there in Dunedin, you got the Blaster Boot Camp, mini boot camp coming up.
Yep.
I love it.
It's going to be fun.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What a way to start off your Saturday as well. All right, Rachel Wright, Director of Staff Education, Patient Care, Gulfside Healthcare.
So I would leave you with some research has shown that volunteering can increase your quality of life. So I encourage those who have been considering giving back to think about some of our supportive programs, think about your individual talents, what you could bring and share in the lives of others. If you're interested in volunteering, we make that pretty simple. You can go right to our website, gulfside.org, and fill out a volunteer application, or call our main number at 1-800-561-4883. Also, check out our Facebook page. We frequently are featuring pets that our patients are trying to rehome as they face the end of life, making sure their pets are taken care of. So that's another way you can give back if you have a special place for, someone's pets. They're also going through and adapting to changes as they're losing somebody who, was family for them as well.
Right.
So, check out our Facebook page. And like Kirsty said, some other ways you could donate online, the spring cleaning, donating to our thrift stores.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that idea of looking at volunteering from a different paradigm. Because it's one of the best things I did with my daughter, especially when she was younger, is we would go down to, I think it was like First Presbyterian Church in downtown Tampa, and volunteer for feeding the homeless. So what a better day, what a better way, there's not a better way than, taking a child that's developing and they're, maybe throwing some temper tantrums or whatever at the time, right? And showing them, hey, there's other people, that other people matter. These other people, especially when they're coming in, in the condition they are off the streets like that, and volunteering. And so we're looking for a place closer to Palm Harbor now that we moved over to that area. But I'd love to, feed the homeless again. I don't want to drive that far, but to do that on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, whenever they did it. But awesome, good stuff. All right, Kirsty, Churchill, Gulfside Healthcare Services.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share, if anybody is looking for more information about the Comfort Connections and the supportive programs like Rachel talked about, like the Seeds of Solace and the Pet Peace of Mind and the Veterans, we're actually doing a Facebook Live video on Thursday, March 5th on our Facebook, so Gulfside Healthcare Services on Facebook. So tune into that and you can chat with us live and, share your questions. You can send us your questions ahead of time if you want, but it's just going to be a really helpful resource just to get some information about what we've got going on. And then we also have, I'll give a quick plug for Polypalooza, is Saturday the 29th, this weekend, on Main Street, Zephyr Hills. So downtown Zephyr Hills, they're going to shut down Main Street. We're going to fill it with vendors and food trucks and have live bands on stage all day from 12 to 9. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And all the proceeds from that go back to supporting Gulfside Hospice and helping those patient programs.
Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun. Cool event. And so, I want to remind folks of as well, we have our speed networking event coming up on Wednesday, March 25th. So save the date, Wednesday, March 25th, 6:30 to 8:30 over at Taps Restaurant, located at the International Plaza on Bay Street, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Taps Restaurant Bar and Grill. Check out eventbrite.com, Wednesday, March 25th, 6:30 to 8:30. And we also have Fabre Frameworks are going to be there as well. So they're going to be updating your headshots if you want to get some updated pictures. Photographer is going to be there as well. Now, speed networking, people have said, well, what exactly is speed networking? So it's Tampa Bay's best speed networking event. Now, this is an opportunity. We're going to have over 100 people at this event. And what's going to happen is you're going to come in, you're going to have a different color wristband, and you're going to get to meet close to 100 people, maybe over 100 people at this event. So we're going to have 3-minute rounds. You're talking, you're meeting people, and it's going to be a great opportunity for you to get plugged into the business community. A lot of our radio show partners, expert contributors from the show will be there. You'll see our real estate team represented as well. So it's a great opportunity. Save the date, Wednesday, March 25th, 6:30 to 8:30 over at Taps Restaurant, International Plaza on Bay Street as well. So it's a local gastropub, our restaurant partner there. Excellent food, by the way. If you haven't been to Taps, you got to check them out. They've got a very friendly staff, delicious food, and we love going over there and hanging out at Taps Restaurant, International Plaza at Bay Street. And also got a quick tip here for you from one of my favorite stories of a gentleman by the name of David Banfield. He was Dr. David Banfield of Harvard. He conducted a 50-year study into the upward socioeconomic mobility in the United States and other countries. And after this 50-year study, what he concluded is that the number one determinant of how far you're going to make it in life, how successful you're going to be, is developing long-time perspective. So when you have that long-time perspective going into a business venture or even setting goals, personal goals even, you are going to have a better go at it when you have that long time perspective. So a good example of that is, if you look at, like, for example, estate planning with the Walton family that created Walmart, right? They've got 5 different, setups. They got all these different people, lots of layers of protection in there. And then the opposite side of that is your hopeless alcoholic or drug addict that's just looking for that next fix. So there's your 2 examples of extreme examples for long time perspective. But a 50-year study conducted by Dr. Edward Banfield of Harvard mentions that long time perspective is going to be your number one success determinant on how far you can go in your life and your ladder to success. So think of each rung as a ladder on that rung of success, and that's going to help you grow and be more successful. So, hey, another great show. Heather Lalk, thanks so much. Rachel Wright, Kirsty Churchill, Gulfside, thanks for coming in. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Donate some blood, donate some time, donate to Gulfside, and volunteer with Gulfside. Lots of ways you can be a force for good in the community and do something kind for one another. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.